we fix our eyes on you tonight, Lord. On your cross, on your goodness.
So it's Tuesday afternoon. Robbie was up at 6 a.m. It went okay this morning, although he cried. I had to get out his PECS book and show him a picture of the van and show him that he really was going to his program today, and they picked him up. He came home in a great mood. But the day that I had today was, between yesterday and today, is just crazy. I am in the midst of a legal issue that has to do with business. And I've had to go through hundreds of emails, print them up, highlight them, write notes, build a case for my attorney. I've had my attorney calling me today, asking me questions, asking me about money. I have to go through my checkbook and finances and try to figure out who was paid what, and this and that, and all this kind of stuff going on. On top of that, I have people that just keep texting me and emailing me and calling me about, well, what color trim do we need? Well, what color? Well, I don't know. I didn't like that color. Can you pick me a new color? And, and all this kind of stuff going on. And then Robbie gets dropped off. And then while I'm on a business phone call with somebody who wants to sell their house, Robbie is sitting in the bathroom and taking his diaper off and throwing it across the room. And my husband, didn't know where the diapers were, and he didn't know how to change him. And so my husband just took off and left and went to his cousin's house. And I blew up because I was mad at him for just taking off and leaving and not telling me where he was going. And so I just blew a fit right now because I'm at the verge where I'm ready to blow. And so I took off and I brought Robbie over to where my husband was, over at his cousin's house, and I dropped him off and I took off and left because I feel like, why should I have to handle this all by myself? And I feel like all the pressure is on me in all of these areas, and everybody thinks that I'm always the one to fix everything for everybody. And I'm not Superwoman, and I can't fix everybody's problem, and I can't be the one to do everything for everybody. I just can't. And I'm like, to here. I've just had enough. And tonight I have to take Robbie to the psychiatrist at 7:45. And he needs to give Robbie the okay to go back home again. And if he doesn't, I guess he's coming back home with me. And I have to keep canceling appointments, and people keep calling me, and I don't even know what to do at this point. I just don't even know what to do. They need to learn how to handle Robbie. I'm tired of people that are making minimum wage, that have no training, that don't know how to handle autism, being the ones that take care of Robbie, and then they freak out and they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to handle it, so they call 911 and stick him in the psych ward or the hospital. That's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. And I'm sorry, but I'm really mad today. And, I talked to my daughter, who this is a normal everyday thing for her because she's trained in autism. They need people that are trained in autism to learn how to take care of these people. And the state of New Jersey better start paying these people more money and looking for credentials and looking for people that know what they're doing, because this is ridiculous. This is totally ridiculous what I'm dealing with right now. I can't take it. I'm so to here right now. Good.
His meds.
Yep, all his meds are in. All right, mister. Give me a kiss. I love you. You happy? You're all happy. Don't wipe it off.
Our insurance policy, and the only thing on its mind is being your soulmate. Depend on easy online tools.
So it's 8:45. We got out of the psychiatrist's office, and he gave Robbie the okay to go back to the group home. The group home seems to be, really concerned about him coming back, but I don't know what the other choice is. He doesn't want to be with me. He wants to be on his routine, and the doctor said, here's how you handle it. If you see Robbie getting upset, Stop doing what you're doing and stop upsetting him. That's it. They want to know what causes the behavior, and he says it's unpredictable. Of course it's unpredictable. And the answer is, well, they need trained staff and they need steady staff to always be with him all the time. And the problem with that, this is the discussion that we had with the girl that works at the group home and the doctor and myself. The problem is they don't pay enough money, and the staff always turns over and they always leave because they're always looking for a better job with better pay. So until somebody starts paying these people better money, we're not going to get the care that Robbie really needs, and we're going to keep having this issue, and we're going to keep having this problem because staff will continue to keep turning over and getting Robbie upset. So I don't know what to say. I don't know what's going to happen next. We're just going to keep taking it one day at a time. All I do know is that at his day program, he's very happy. They have no issues. They have no problems. They have no behaviors. It's only the group home situation at this point that is causing a problem on weekends. And it's really only because it's always subs. So, you know, maybe I have to bring him home on the weekends. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going home now. Gonna take a shower and go to bed. Good night. Hi, today's Tuesday, June 22nd, I think. I'm on my way to Robbie's house for an IDT meeting. And what is an IDT meeting, you ask? I don't know. I have to look it up. So the reason I have to have this meeting is because of our incident last week on Father's Day, where Robbie had a behavior and they had to send him off to Trinitas Hospital. I had something else wrong too. I said that somebody from SAT, that was wrong. Somebody came to see me from SCAT. What is SCAT? I don't know. I have to look it up. So SCAT is a division of Trinitas Hospital. I don't know, you know, when I first called the state for help for Robbie, he needed to be evaluated. They sent people from this behavior division at Trinitas to evaluate Robbie, and results of their findings is what put Robbie on the emergency list to get him placed into a home. So there's some kind of official something, I don't know what. Anyway, they're doing an investigation as to Robbie's behaviors, and that sounds like a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing because they will make sure now that people are sent to the group home to train the staff to make sure that they help Robbie to avoid behaviors again in the future. That's one thing. And today's meeting is an IDT meeting, which is through DDD, which is the Division of Developmental Disabilities. They're the ones that Robbie has a case manager through. And it's the same thing. This is sort of an investigation to see what caused the behavior, what happened, who's at fault, or not at fault, or whatever, and how can we help Robbie to avoid this happening again in the future. So it sounds like, you know, an investigation sounds like, oh, the police are coming and, you know, it's like all bad, but it's not. It's actually, everyone is working to help Robbie. It's for his benefit. This is the way that they help there to not be abuse or neglect in the group home. You know, so they check up and make sure the staff isn't doing anything to harm Robbie and that kind of stuff. So I'm off to that meeting right now, and I'll check back in when it's over, and I'll let you know what happened. Okay, so that was not really a long meeting. It was about a half hour. There were 6 people sitting at the table, not including me, and Robbie is technically supposed to be at the meeting, but he was only there for a minute, and then he left because he doesn't understand what they're talking about anyway. And then there were 3 people on a conference call also, and they were people from Robbie's day program and in charge of, and a division from his group home. So we briefly discussed the incident, what happened. What happened was, as soon as they said, Robbie, let's go to church, he acted out, and they had to call 911 and took him to Trinitas. Now, and the discussion is, how do we avoid this in the future? I just said, well, obviously he just didn't want to go to church. That's about the 4th time that I've seen him give people a hard time about going to church. One was at his old group home, 2 of his old group homes. The other one was on Easter, which I did an episode about, which you saw, where he gave my daughter a hard time. He didn't want to come. And now this time. So how do we avoid this? He needs to communicate. So we'll use the PECS system, and we will show him his pictures of PECS and give him the option and ask him, do you want to go to church? And if he says no, he doesn't go. And that's how we avoid behavior. So that's the first part of the meeting. Now, the second part, I'm so excited about it because I knew it was coming, but we didn't have the official word, and I just got the official word today for 2 things. Number 1, the group home is building a new house, because this is a temporary placement where we are right now, because they're building a new house, and Robbie will be the first person in that house. So they will gear that whole house toward Robbie and all of his wants and needs. They'll staff it the way he needs it to be staffed. They'll run it, the way he needs it to be run. And even any other members that come to live in that house will be people very compatible to Robbie that will be like him. So they'll probably be young guys with autism that like to do the same activities, etc. And they just told me today that that house will probably be ready to go about the first week in September. It'll be done being built in August. It takes about a month to get certificate of occupancy, and he'll be ready to move into this new place in September. The second piece of good news is that his day program is expanding, and you'll never believe where they're moving to. Robbie's old school. I cannot tell you how happy I am about that, because 1, it's in the town that I live in, and 2, Robbie absolutely loved his old school. And when he was going to school there, I had told the director, jokingly, I said, could you just build a 2nd floor on top of the school and make that the residence with beds, and then he could just live there and sleep there in the morning, just get up and go downstairs and go to school, because that's where he's happiest. And if he could live there, he would be happy. So this is just absolutely the most wonderful news I've ever heard, that Robbie's day program is now moving into Robbie's old school. So they'll take up the left half of the school, and his school, the young students up to 21 will be in the right half of the school. So it's going to be, the whole place is going to be geared to kids with autism. So you're going to have, 3 to 21 in the school. Then after they turn 21, if they qualify and everything, they may not ever have to leave. They'll get to stay in this adult program. I don't know, who knows? But it's great news for other kids like Robbie, and they won't have to fear when they graduate where we're going to go, because they'll have this option of being able to stay right there and transition right into this new program. That is, of course, if they obtain the funding that they need and all of that other legal stuff, that comes along with it, as long as they don't run into any kind of problems and issues, and things, go smoothly. We don't have any issues with the state of New Jersey, causing problems, who knows. But today is a really, really good day, because I got the best news that I ever could have gotten, is that Robbie's going to have a new house geared specifically for him in the town right next door to where I live. And his day program is moving back into his old school in the town where I live. Somebody said to me, it looks like the stars are aligning for you. And I don't believe in that. All I can say is my prayers are being answered. Thank you, Jesus. All the glory to God. Thank you for everybody that's been praying for me and for Robbie, because this is just the biggest answer to prayer. It could not be any better. This is every single answer to prayer that I have asked for is all happening. Just found out today, and it's a good day.
And I'll be so